We're going to be getting started now. First question, is there any tables that have not gotten the lunch and learn food donations? Okay, I'm going to leave this at the front table if anyone hasn't given a donation and needs to do that a little later. Okay, let me introduce myself. I'm Wayne Sendville. I'm the volunteer coordinator of the Lunch and Learn program. First of all, I want to thank the folks in the kitchen who put together the meal, including Linda Copper, who was the lead person for today, and because of the road condition, had to leave early so she could get home safely. I also want to note that there are a lot of pieces of paper on every table. Each of them has a purpose. First of all, there's the Lunch and Learn folder. If you haven't seen that yet, you'll be able to see the remaining Lunch and Learns. Interestingly, the next Lunch and Learn is by an organization called CASAM, if I'm pronouncing it right, Volunteers Helping People Seek Asylum. They are also mentioned on this yellow sheet, which is on each of the tables. The Boys and Girls Club has a number of pieces of paper out on each table, which they'll explain during their presentation. Our speaker today was scheduled to be Tanya Banoski, Executive Director of the Boys and Girls Club of Burlington. As Tanya just came down with a cold and didn't want to inadvertently pass it along to any of us, we have the club's Director of Development and Communications, Subha, right there, and Pam Unsworth, who's the Development Manager with us. And they'll be doing the presentation and also will be available for questions at the end. Founded in 1942 as the Boys Club, the Boys and Girls Club was created to provide positive opportunities for young people in Burlington. Today, the club serves the community through 3 locations, including its longtime home on Oak Street, which probably everyone here has passed by a number of times, and not far from Ohavi, Zedek, which offers after-school programs for students from kindergarten through 8th grade, teen nights for high school students, and critically important 8-week summer camp when school is out. Add to that the club's Early Promise program, which Subha will be describing in a bit more detail. I guess in any detail. I want to note also, I took a tour of the Boys and Girls Club, and first I should also mention that Bill Miller, who's here, sort of introduced me to the Boys and Girls Club. It's an organization that I think many people in the area sort of knew about, but didn't really know in any sort of depth about what the many things that the organization provides. So I did take a tour of the facility. I think that's something I hope everyone here will sign up for and do sometime this spring or summer, or even winter if you're up for it. Inside the building, there was really a very remarkable positive energy. You could sort of feel it when you were in there. I was also impressed by the fact that a number of the staff there now had sort of gone to the Boys and Girls Club as kids and sort of were familiar with it and felt like a strong attachment to it, at least strong enough to want to sort of repay the organization by serving as staff. You'll also on the tour be able to visit the Academic Center, which is a building in Roosevelt Park across the street from the main club. It's a building that, I've seen many times. I never really even thought about what it was for, but they use that as an academic center, providing quiet space where students can focus on finishing homework, completing academic improvement exercises, and receiving tutoring. So we're really fortunate to have the Boys and Girls Club at Ohavi Zedek today to give us a presentation. And again, there'll be an adequate amount of time at the end for Q&A. So with that, let's welcome Subha and Pam to Ohavi Zedek.
Thank you, Wayne, and we really appreciate you having us here and taking the time to listen about our programs.
You might want to get a little closer.
Closer? Okay. That better? Okay. So again, thank you again, and this is a great opportunity for Pam and I because we are your neighbors, and it'd be great for you to know what we're doing down the street from you. So I'm just going to start today with why I am connected to the club. If any of you are parents, you know it takes a village to raise your kids. And I was very fortunate to have my family local, my employer was a great support, and my friends. And I really feel like the families at our club, many of them don't have that. You know, but the club really steps in for these kids as part of their village. And it's just a safe, fun place and has a consistent, you know, role models, consistent staff for them to really get connected and just be part of our community too. So that's just one of the biggest reasons I'm proud to be part of this organization. So at the club, at the Boys and Girls Club in Burlington, we help 250 kids a day build their own great futures by providing a safe place, by helping develop character and life skills, and by supporting academic success. There's so many things that we can share with you that we're so proud of at our club. So we're very proud that our club member was chosen last year to represent all the clubs, all the Boys and Girls Clubs in Vermont as being named Youth of the Year. And so this Youth of the Year program is one of the highest honors that's bestowed upon a club member. And we're very proud that we have won 7 out of the past 8 years. So, and we hope to win again this year too. And that allows our club member to go on to New York and compete in the Northeast region, which is just an amazing experience for most of these kids have never left Vermont, much less Chittenden County. So, and then we're really proud that we provide meals to our kids daily. So snack and dinner during the school year, and then breakfast, lunch, and snack during the summer camp. And we estimate we serve well over 25,000 meals to these kids in a year. And one of the last things that I'll talk about is Wayne mentioned the Early Promise Program, and we'll talk a little bit more about it later, but we have a young woman, and actually her poster is up there in front of the Columbia sign. So she is first in her family to go to college. Her parents came here with the dream of an education, and we're so proud that she graduated from Middlebury College this past year. And she's a neuroscience major. She was magna cum laude, so you know she really worked hard, and we're so proud of her. And that's really part of our support with her, supporting her through college, not just getting into college. And we do support her financially too, to fill in the gaps there. So we have actual proof that the more a child comes through our doors, the better their life outcomes are. As much impact as we're having, there's still so many more things we want to do. So it's become very common to hear from a club family that they've been evicted from their apartment. Having the club as a safe place that kids are proud of is increasingly more important in creating a sense of stability for our club kids. So with that in mind, we've been working for the past 1.5 years on renovations to our space with all new paint, some new furniture, and more. And we still have a goal of doing some more so that the kids can have a space that they're really proud of. We're also helping our young people build the life skills they need to handle life's challenges. So through increased professional development in a program called Emotion Coaching, our staff are learning how to understand and manage emotional responses and skills that they can then model and teach to our kids as they work through tough moments. Finally, there was a time when a strong work ethic and a high school diploma were enough to help our kids build a solid future in our community. But in today's knowledge-driven world, some education beyond high school is often required to have that life that they are dreaming of. So 12 years ago, we started a program called Early Promise Academic Program. So at that point, we'd had a turning point at the club. No one, as in 0 club members, were consistently going on to higher ed after high school. The Early Promise program was born out of that commitment to change that story. So we're proud to have now today over 65 club members participate in the program, and a total of 31 graduates and 8 new graduates this past year. And currently there's 37 members enrolled in college or a training program. So that program is really like a commitment to our kids that you do your part, you work hard in school, we're here for you, academics, emotionally, financially, and to get them through whatever training program or college that they want to go through. So the work we're doing today helps to create vibrant, prosperous lives for the club kids of today. But our bigger vision is the ripple effect that these young people are creating. Their siblings are watching them, as are their neighbors and classmates. Their success will impact generations to come, creating healthy neighborhoods and tomorrow's employees and leaders of business and government who will ensure that we as a state will thrive. So thank you very much, and we're going to share a 7-minute video with you that you'll hear some stories of how our programs have impacted the community and our club members.
I don't know why this is out. Oh, there we go.
The club builds a sense of community and a second home for people. My name is Atika and I'm a camp counselor at the club right now. I started at the after school, at IAA.
My name is Amy Pickering, and I know about the Boys and Girls Club in 3 different ways: personally, professionally, and community-wise. I've had a lot of conversations with the club in support of some of the children within the community who have wanted to move on to college and needed some assistance financially, filling out applications and financial aid paperwork. And I partnered with the club to help these children be able to do that.
My name is William Squadio. My role here now is I'm a summer counselor. The Boys and Girls Club is very close to home. I started coming here when I was 13, 14.
I have been a member of the Boys and Girls Club for 12 years now.
The club's done wonderful things. I just think about all the kids that come back and be camp counselors. It just shows that the club has done so much that that connection is even around when the kids are too old to be club kids. They turn into club big kids.
It's like a safe and fun environment to be managed by good people that's been in the community for a very long time. And a lot of the kids that come here already know some of these adults from out and about anyways. So it's a place that you want to be, because there's just so much, it's safe, and there's a lot of activities that you'll get to do that you won't typically do in your normal everyday life. That's what makes it such an appealing place.
You meet a lot of people that you probably wouldn't meet without the club. You make a lot of new friends, all these opportunities that you can do. We have a pool, so swimming every day.
There really aren't very many options for our teenagers at night or in the evening. So the Boys and Girls Club is where they can be with their friends. It's where they can get homework help. It's where they can get a meal. Lots of parents are working, and some work at the night, and the club is just the place to be. It's safe. It provides them with food and safety.
Around that age, it's really hard to find places where you actually want to be. I feel at least for me, when I was that age, it was really hard for wanting to be in school or wanting to be certain places. Whereas at the Boys and Girls Club was they actually did stuff that kids want to do.
There's actually like some moments of time where like I didn't come to the club for a period of time just because of like isolation and, you know, mental health stuff. But, you know, when I come back, I still always feel welcomed back. And I talked to Jack, Maggie about a few things that I was struggling with, and they were very understanding about it, helped me navigate like what I was going through in ways that I couldn't navigate on my own. Their arms are open to like literally anybody. So if you've never been here before, you know, you're always welcome here. If you've been here and haven't been here for a long time, you're still welcome here. People come here every single day, same faces.
The Boys and Girls Club is here to like, if you're going to like, if you talk about going to college, they'll set you up to be able to like have the resources to do that. If you want to go to trade school, they'll find a way to like help you to do that. So it's not really that like the Boys and Girls Club pushes everybody to like go to college. Like, what do you want to do? Like, we're here to help you.
And I think that they would support them no matter what they chose. But just the fact that they can dream big and the club will be like, okay, then what do you need from us? How can we help you? For the young ones, and a lot of them have siblings. So that modeling is huge too, is that they see their siblings, or they see the kid in their neighborhood, or the kid that lives down the street that looks like them, do big things and go places. And then that gives them the right and the ability to dream.
It's more than just like a place for kids to come in. At least for me, the way I say it's like it's more than a place for kids to just come hang out and play games for a few hours and go home. Like they're learning like life skills here. They're like learning how to like solve conflicts. If you get into a conflict here, the Boys and Girls will try to help you solve it and like give you the tools to be able to do that in the future.
It gives them a place where, especially for the older kids, for the teenagers, it gives them a place where they have some autonomy. They're supervised, but they're not watched, meaning they have someone there, it's safe, they have an eye on, but they can be kids. They can have a game room, they have a pool room, they have a room where they play music or they listen to music. They all eat together. It's a great community. What your parents can't help with, we'll find it. We'll find a way. You know, so that just opens the door for them to dream bigger and to pursue things that I don't think they could pursue without the club.
It's helped a lot of people in the community. It's helped me, it's helped my friends. It's helped like, it's not just helping the kids that they directly give it to, it's helping families. Because of them, like helping donate and like giving me the chance to be able to come here. I went to college now, I'm helping my family. Their money goes a long way, and like we really, really appreciate it. And I know that like a lot of these people around here really, like they definitely need it. And the Boys and Girls Club has been like a pillar for like a lot of people around here. Like
Boys and Girls Club gives us like a lot of opportunities. That kind of money can pay for some of the scholarships that they give out to college students. They're paying for some of my college, so it feels really good because I have this kind of support and these kind of connections.
It would be awesome if we could keep it going for as long as possible, because I feel like they definitely help a lot. The donors are the ones that's making that happen, so we really do appreciate it.
It just brings a lot of kids together from different places and different walks of life and different homes, and brings them all together for the purpose of like play and community and getting along. And our world lately has been a little tough, and to be able to have hopes and dreams is very important, especially for our young generation.
I hope you all enjoyed watching that video and you could hear it okay. Great. All right, thank you. Can you hear me all right? All right. Hello again, everybody. Thank you so much for having us. Thank you, Wayne, for your very kind introduction. My name is Pam Unsworth, and I'm the development manager at the Boys and Girls Club right down the road. Since we serve children as young as kindergarten, I'd like to close out our presentation. Part of our presentation by sharing a story about a younger club member. And this story was actually written by our director of kindergarten through 3rd grade. after-school programming, who has been a dedicated staff member at the club for nearly 15 years. And before that, he was a club member himself right here at our Burlington club. So here we go. Many people think of the club as a fun place that provides after-school childcare. But the fact is, we are supporting kids in deep and meaningful ways. We help them overcome behavioral challenges by teaching skills and strategies that support positive behavior and lead to greater success in life. Like the experience I had with a kid named Brandon. I met Brandon when he was just in kindergarten. Brandon has always been a helpful kid, but his situation at home was less than ideal, and that led to some struggles at school. Sometimes I would see Brandon's dad across the street from the school with a sign asking for money. Their situation was desperate at times. You can just imagine what that was like, not just for Brandon, but for his dad as well. So many kids don't even want their parents seen when getting dropped off at school. I know it was really hard for both of them. Kids would make fun of Brandon because of this, which made him feel insecure and embarrassed. And I imagine his dad felt embarrassed too, and upset and hopeless. When Brandon would come to the Boys and Girls Club after-school program, I noticed that he had a hard time keeping his hands to himself, hitting and pushing others when he got picked on or felt overwhelmed. When we would try to talk to him about it, he would ignore us and run around the school trying to get away from us. He would do this every time he got upset. Brandon's mom wasn't in the picture at this point, so we couldn't reach out to her. I was a club kid too, and Brandon actually reminds me a lot of myself when I first started coming to the club. So I can imagine how frustrated he must have felt when he was being picked on and made fun of because he didn't come from a lot and he didn't have a stable home life. While it might have been easier to tell Brandon he couldn't be in our program if he didn't behave, we didn't want to put him at a greater disadvantage by taking away his safe place and time with positive role models. I could see that Brandon needed additional support, and because of the club trainings I've gone through, I was able to meet him where he was and help him learn how to best regulate his emotions in a way that worked well for him. So instead of kicking him out of the program, we came up with a plan for Brandon. The plan was, whenever he got mad, we allowed him to walk a lap around the hallway to cool off. The first time I saw Brandon take a walk and come back level-headed, I knew this would be a big turning point for him. We also came up with ways to motivate Brandon, to check in with himself and regulate his behavior. If he had a really great week, he was able to pick a special toy from our prize box, and I could tell this made him feel really good. Right before my eyes, I started to see change. He was developing new skills to control his behavior, and it made me feel proud to see him grow like this. He was no longer using violence as a way to express his emotions, and when he did feel like he wanted to push or hit someone, he would let me know he was taking his cool down walk. For the next 3 years he was in my program, Brandon pretty much mastered the art of the cool down walk. Brandon became one of our most helpful and respectful kids in the program, helping out whenever he could. Brandon is now in 5th grade, so he goes to the main clubhouse for our after-school programs. And from what I've heard, he seems to be thriving. I got to talk to Brandon recently. I was so happy to hear how well he's doing. He loves baseball and wrestling. When he gets older, he says he's going to be the WWE champion and a pro baseball player at the same time. Every time he sees me, his smile lights up and he tells me about his past and upcoming games, along with what happened at WrestleMania. It makes me feel so good because instead of kicking him out of the program, we gave him another chance that's helped him grow socially, physically, and mentally. Because of the club, Brandon has learned skills to cope with challenging situations and environments that will be so helpful to him for a lifetime. He was able to learn these skills because the Boys and Girls Club showed him that he is valued and wanted here at the club. I'm glad we were able to come up with a plan that met Brandon where he was and gave him the tools to realize he can control his behavior and make positive choices. I'm excited to see what the future has in store for Brandon. Thank you so much for listening. Go ahead. I was just going to say that closes out kind of what we had planned, but we'd like to open it up for any questions you might have. And also I'd like to visit back with what Wayne said in the beginning. At each table, we put out a couple handouts There's one sheet that provides kind of a quick overview of facts, where our funding comes from, information like that. There's a couple printed newsletters. Every year we put out we mail out 2 publications. One is our annual report, and one is our Early Promise newsletter. And then also on your table, there is a contact information sheet. So if you feel like you'd be open to having me give you a call, I'd love to hear your feedback of what we shared with you today. And even more, I'd love to invite you to join us at the Boys and Girls. Graciously said he would be willing to kind of host that tour. So if there's a group of folks from here that want to come together, we can set that up, and Wayne can kind of be your ambassador for it, which would be awesome.
Let me start off with a question.
Sure, please.
Can you give us a sense? Can you give us a sense of what you view as your main challenges over the next couple of years? Looking at it, I mean, we're dealing with a lot of challenges at Ohavi Zedek as a synagogue.
Yeah.
And I'm curious, as a nonprofit organization, what you view as things that are really on your plate that you need to tackle in the coming years.
Sure.
We're fortunate. We don't try to, we don't go after too much federal funds, but, obviously federal funds, we do have a portion of our budget that does come from there. So I would say that's a big concern. It's been a concern this whole past year. We've been fortunate not to lose any yet. So I think just managing our kids through this time period is one big challenge.
Along those lines of managing them, it's they're kind of living in a state of fear oftentimes, and so making sure that they know that they have a safe place to come to, that they have adults that they can trust. A lot of families have been really scared. We've talked about what if ICE shows up, and those are scary conversations to have and really unfortunate conversations, but those are some of the things that are definitely on our radar, and we want to make sure that our kids, first and foremost, feel safe. Along those lines of feeling safe is that they have enough food. Rising cost of food and housing has been a big challenge for our families. So we're really doing a lot to fill the gap that they can't cover, along the same lines as going to school. We want to make sure our kids all have a great future, whatever that future is for them, that they want to be able to live the lives of their dreams. We want to help them reach that. But there's just so many costs that these families are faced with every single day that they really need to decide, can I go to school? Can I go to college? Or do I need to start working for my family and help supporting them? So we're really trying to be able to bridge that gap, and at the end of the day, eventually be able to support any of our club members in a Vermont state school by removing any financial, after financial aid, removing any cost to higher ed. So I'd say.
Yeah, and it's not so much a challenge, but a goal is to continue to increase the number of kids that participate in our Early Promise program, and not just college. There is a picture of a welder over here. We do have a young man that's studying to be an electrician. So we want to encourage them that way, and so we do have a college and career fair to just have them see all the different opportunities out there where you can have a career, but maybe not all kids want to go to college, or that's the right thing for them. So I think continuing and growing that program is a big goal for us.
And along those lines, it's a goal to have a dedicated STEM or STEAM center, which that all costs money, having 3D printers and teaching kids how to use tools and all that kind of stuff. Great question.
You talked about the emotional needs of some of the students and so forth. What communications do you have with their schools that they go to? Do you talk to the guidance counselors? Is there communication between the two so you can share each other's findings?
Yeah, it's not quite as open that way, but we definitely have relationships with the schools and teachers and guidance counselors, and it's really to kind of help understand where children are in their grade level. That's one part, but definitely around the emotions part too. And we know if they get in trouble at school, right? So we are notified. So I would say that it's not this complete open book relationship between us, but we do work very hard to build relationships with the teachers over there, yeah.
So I taught at IAA for 23 years, and I just want to share with people here. In 2009, I had two twin sisters, identical twins. I still can't tell them apart. I'm still in touch with them, and their brother, who now works at the club, Tumba. And so when Mawa and Senga arrived on my doorstep in 2009, I'll never forget this, but Senga wrote her name, and she wrote it completely backwards, like a mirror image, that she had just memorized what these letters looked like, had no concept of literacy whatsoever. And I watched her write her name, and I was like, what is she doing? And I realized then that, even for me, having been in this field for years already, it was still, I had never quite seen someone coming in with only having had some concept. I'm just like, as if we were trying to copy, Sanskrit or some other thing, that we would just be copying it and doing our best to have memorized it. Maui graduated in December from nursing school. I don't know, emotional. Sega is in college still and is working towards a degree. Tumba is working at the Boys and Girls Club and is in the Guard and getting all of his college loans forgiven. And they send me updates. On Saturday, the girls moved to Texas, and the women, they're young women at this point. They moved to Texas, and I lost touch with them. But they stayed in my classroom for 2 years. And was it? I think it was Mawa. Which one became the early?
Senga was the Youth of the Year.
Youth of the Year, and for
2 years in a row.
For 2 years in a row, she was Youth of the Year.
Which, thank you for mentioning that, because Youth of the Year, and Subha mentioned it as well, that's not an easy thing to win. It's a very robust application process. You have to write multiple speeches. You have to interview with 3 different judges. You're competing against all the other other clubs in Vermont to get this title of Vermont Youth of the Year. So yeah, winning it 2 times in a row is really extra special.
Yeah, she was texting me her speeches and asking me to proofread them for her and make sure that they made sense and were on. So I just have this great connection with the club and what you have done. And I wanted to ask a question, because we saw those pictures of all the kids holding up their giant checks. Yeah. Tell us, couldn't read the fine print, how much money are students actually getting to go on to college, and what's those dollars amounts?
Oh, that's a great point.
And then the other question I have is I know that at Wheeler, so we were experiencing the same thing the club was saying, that there were no students graduating from our 5th grade classes at H.O. Wheeler, now Integrated Arts Academy, that were going on to college. Mm-hmm. And Bobby Miller put together, and is Bobby Miller's funding connected with the Early Promise?
With the Academic Center.
Yeah. So, all right. So those are my questions.
Sure. It's actually the Pomerleau family is connected to the Early Promise program with the scholarships. So we give students $2,000 a year. That's kind of like the baseline. And it's really also encouraging. They need to stay in touch with us. They need to come see us. It's not just write them a check or write the school a check and that's it. And then we have a lot of special club members like Tumba or his sisters or Callie and this other young man, Yusuf, that we have provided additional help financially to them so that, just to fill that gap again so that they can continue. Because sometimes kids come to us and say, I don't think I can go again next year, it's too expensive. So I think the good part is that we're doing it every year. It's not just right when you start freshman year, you get 1 check, and it's about, again, giving back to us and staying connected. And we're really proud. Wayne mentioned, we have a lot of kids that come back in the summer that are in college that are our camp counselors, which is wonderful for the kids to see people in their neighborhood working there. So But I will say, we gave out over $100,000 last year. So, yeah.
You were saying you get some minimal funding from the federal government. Do you get anything from the state of Vermont or Burlington?
Well, yes, ironically, we do, but we found out during this whole transition that 80% of that actually is federally funded. So, you think it's from the state, but they're also getting it. So that's been, like I said, we're very fortunate right now, but we are worried about the next school year and what might happen.
So I'm curious, how well is the population that would benefit from what you offer, how well are they served? How does it work out in terms of need, community need? Are there kids that get turned away because you can't accommodate them?
Yeah, no, Pam and I have been there 3 to 4 years, but no, the philosophy is not to turn away kids, and it's really kids in the neighborhood. We don't provide transportation. It's kids walk to our club, walk home from our club, walk over from IA to school. So we've been fortunate. I would say the younger program at the IA is probably the only one that might get filled sooner, just because you need after-school care for kids that young. But the middle schoolers, and then the teens is a drop-in. So yes, sometimes tends to be a smaller number between sports and everything, but we really don't. We work very hard not to turn away anyone that wants to come to the club.
And along those lines, for our summer camp, that is also obviously a very high need period of time when school's closed. We do sometimes have to turn kids away, but we don't do it on a typical summer camp registration process where it's first come, first serve, and you're logging in at 12:01 midnight to get your kids signed up. We review all applications from every family, and we take the kids who need us the most. It's definitely on a need basis more than a first come, first serve basis. And again, it's the kids that are right in the community that are, typically walking themselves to and from the club in the morning and at nighttime, and their parents are both working or whatever the situation might be, and they would just be stuck at home all day. So, yeah, summer camp is a really based on a need basis.
Yeah, but for some time I've seen that our students, not only in the state of Vermont, but in the country, are way behind in reading. And the reading skills are just so important. Without reading, you're at a disadvantage in science, you're at a disadvantage in mathematics, you're at a disadvantage in medicine, and everything. Do you do anything to help encourage younger people to read and to enjoy reading? Because I understand Americans in general are not reading as much either.
That's a great question too. So every day during after school and even during summer camp, we spend a minimum of a half hour on academics. So that could be a group of kids reading. It was really fun last year. The staff took a kind of a poll among all of our club members what kind of programs they would like. And there's a number of kids that thought starting a book club would be fun. So we've done book club programs. But Early Promise initially started for kids as young as 5th grade, and we realized we really needed to start it in kindergarten and get connected with these kids and start supporting them academically, especially with reading at that younger age to help that trajectory and the outcomes so much more. And that's another point as far as staying in touch with the schools and knowing where they are academically, and if they're at grade level or not, we try to provide more individualized attention on those kids that need it.
There's Judy and I used to work with a program called Everybody Wins, and it's a terrific program working with young kids and helping them read. And every once in a while I run into a mother of one of the kids that I work with, and she tells me the kid made honor roll at Burlington High School, and it just makes you feel good. So if you hook up with that Everyone Wins program, it's wonderful, and it's a really good way to get the kids interested in reading.
Awesome, that's a great idea.
The story about Brandon was very striking.
but there must be some percentage of kids that, you know, the walk around just doesn't work. Do you have an estimate of, like, is it 50%, is it 2% of kids that just nothing works?
We don't really have like a number, we're not,
Yeah.
yeah. I know from what I've seen in Pam too, is we work very hard, like with Brendan, there are multiple chances. There might even be a cool down break of the sense you can't come to the club for a week, you know, you need to think about what happened, your behavior. There are times though, we do have to say, I'm sorry, you're not following, you're not fitting in, you're not doing our values, you're not following all those things. So, and that's a very, very hard decision for our staff to make. And we've seen them struggle with that.
And pretty rare that.
Very rare.
It has been pretty rare.
Yeah.
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 But that doesn't mean it doesn't happen occasionally. Yeah.
Any other questions before we wrap up? Well, thank you again for taking the time to join us.
Thank you. Thank you. This was so tough for us, so come visit us.
Yeah.
And folks, fill out this form and look forward to getting a group of people together to go visit the Boys and Girls Club.
They use it for.